aren't you going to Good Vibes, dude?
Because what is big here, man?
It's a good point, John. So you don't need to go to Good Vibes, right?
Exactly. I've seen all I need to see.
Okay, so when you want to shoot something at a concert, there's a couple of things you need to watch out for. The first thing is exposure and noise. Usually the stage is pretty well lit, so you don't have to worry too much about noise or exposure, and your photos will probably turn out looking pretty okay. But sometimes because everything else is dark, your camera might up the ISO, which basically tries to add more light to the image, and sometimes you'll get some grain on your photo or video. We can sort of fix this easily by using something called a denoise filter or a denoiser. So for example, this image was taken at around 5000 ISO, that's kind of on the high side, but with the denoise filter we can sort of like, you know, clean it up a bit, so now it looks much better. However, if you push it too far, it'll start looking really janky. Definitely play around with it, but don't go overboard, because then you start destroying your image and it won't look very nice.
So when you call me the last night, I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you. In the rain, in the sunshine, I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you. Every time that you love me, and every time that you feel alone, you should know I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you, you know.
We're gonna open with like
Nah, that's too emo for an opener, dude. So then when you want to record videos at a concert, you gotta be careful about the sound level, because the microphone in your smartphone is not designed to handle such loud environments. So then when you play your video back, you might notice a lot of cracking, a lot of popping, and the audio will just really sound terrible. And unfortunately, this isn't something that can be fixed in post, but there's a small trick you can try, and that is basically to put your finger over the microphone of your phone. So what this does is that it'll muffle the sound coming into your microphone. But because the music is so loud anyway, some of it will still go into it. Then when you play it back, you might actually get some pretty decent results. And I've tried this before, and it does work up to a certain extent. So definitely try it out if you are going to a concert anytime soon. So the other thing you need to watch out for is actually focus. And again, if your camera cannot focus on what it's supposed to be looking at, you won't get very good pictures or video. Usually it's okay because the stage again is well lit, but everything else surrounding the stage might be in the dark. And sometimes your camera might decide to focus on something in the crowd instead of something on the stage. So be careful about that, because focus is not something that you can easily fix in post. You'll end up usually with a picture that is just blurred out of focus and just not usable at all. And the last thing is you might want to put your phone on a selfie stick or something to just get it a bit more stable. And of course you might be like, you know, dancing around, grooving in the crowd, so that will result in a lot of shaky footage. But if you put it on like a stick of some sort, you know, a selfie stick, a tripod, anything of that sort, you will get some pretty stable footage, at least more stable than you would hand holding it, because this is honestly the worst way to shoot because this has the most shake. And of course the selfie stick would give you a bit more reach as well, vertically and horizontally, but keep in mind not to disturb anyone else when you start waving your camera around. Now you can sort of fix shaky footage in post, but you can only fix it up to a certain point. Sometimes stabilizers in Premiere or After Effects work well, sometimes they don't. It's always better to have as steady footage as possible when you're actually shooting rather than, you know, thinking about correcting it in post, because that's usually always harder to do and the results might not be as good. So definitely think about getting a selfie stick or a tripod of some sort.
I've been upside down. I don't wanna be the right way round. Can't find paradise on the ground. You said you'd always be my white blood, elevate my soul above. We gotta lose it.
John? I think we're good. We're done for real, boys.